Okay, alright, okay. Today we got something truly special. I just got back from the Apple store and in this box we got iPhone 17 Pro Max as well as the iPhone Air. It's not called the 17 Air, I keep messing it up all the time. I don't know why they just named it iPhone Air. But yeah, as I was going for the Google Pay, these cost 3.3k. Anyways, for the Air I decided to go with the sky blue colorway. And for the Pro Max I decided to go with the silver. There's been so much controversy around the new Pro colors this year, and to be honest I think the orange is rage bait. Like, I saw it live and I was looking at it, I was thinking to myself, would people who are planning on rocking the phone for multiple years to come actually want an orange phone? Like, yeah, right now it feels cool and new, but think in 6 months or even a year when the hype has kind of died down, would you still rock the orange phone? I don't know, I might be hating, but to me personally, the silver is definitely the way to go. But yeah, without further ado, I think let's unbox these babies and let's talk about them. I got some other phones here on the table as well, like the 16 Pro Max and the S25 Ultra, and I also got the Pixel 10 Pro XL. So let's also do some comparisons in this video with all of these phones. But yeah, let's start with the Air model. I already saw it live in the Apple store. This thing looks incredible. I always love unboxing Apple devices. The unboxing experience, they nailed it. I think it's way better than the Pixel or the S25 Ultra unboxing experience. As you can see on the box, the Air is kind of sideways because they want to showcase how thin the phone is. And here we have the phone. It is so light and thin. Look how thin that thing is. So this thing is 5.6 millimeters thick. So satisfying. So this year the iPhone display's got a major bump with the ceramic shell too, so it's way brighter, but also it has better anti-reflective coating. As you can see, I've got a light right there next to me. Whoa. The right phone is the 16 Pro Max, and on the left we got the iPhone Air. Yeah, the difference is crazy compared to last year, but this is why I wanted to bring the S25 Ultra with me in this video, because the S25 Ultra is famous for having a great anti-reflective coating. And oh yeah. Yeah, it's clear. The S25 Ultra still smashes the iPhone Air. It's not really even close. Apple has done a great job compared to last year's models, but still, S25 Ultra display, definitely the king of the anti-reflective coating. So shout out Samsung. I don't actually mind the camera bump either. If this is what it takes to fit all that nice hardware into a phone, then I'm not mad at it. But this is why I also wanted to bring the iPad Pro with me here, because the iPad Pro is the thinnest device that Apple has ever made. And here you can see kind of a side-by-side comparison with the iPad Pro and the iPhone Air. It's kind of hard to see, but maybe this is better angle. Thinnest parts look almost identical, but obviously the iPad Pro has a smaller camera bump than the iPhone Air. And yeah, one thing I saw a lot of people complain about is this USB-C part on the iPhone Air. As you can see, it's not fully centered. Like, this is kind of when you first get into CSS and you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna have a hard time centering components. But yeah, I'm not really sure what happened there, because Apple is usually so nitpicky about things like this. I don't know, I'm sure they have a good reason for it, but it's just a little bit funny. And yeah, on the iPhone Air, you don't even have the option for a SIM card slot, no matter where you live. So even though I'm in Europe, as you can see, there's no SIM card slot on the Air. And let's check what else we got in the box. The charging cable and then the basic instruction stuff. And obviously no SIM card pin because there's no SIM card slot on the phone. I was kind of hoping they would match these charging cables with the phones like they did with the MacBook Airs. If you don't know, with the MacBook Air you also get a matching colorway for the charging cable as you do with the device itself. And then it's time for the Pro Max. So this is gonna be my daily driver for the next, I don't know how long. The box is obviously way bigger than on the Air. Let's see what we got. Nice. I feel like it's Christmas. Like, you know, as a kid, when you were always so hyped for Christmas, this is like Christmas to me. Hold on, can I get it open? There we go. Oh, whoa, whoa. Damn. That camera looks crazy. That camera looks absolutely crazy. The vapor chamber looks also so weird to me. Like, it's gonna take me a minute to get used to this shape. And dude, after holding the iPhone Air on hand, the iPhone 17 Pro Max feels like a brick. like genuinely. So the Pro Max is 8.7mm thick, while the Air is only 5.6mm thick. And the Pro Max weighs 233 grams, while the Air weighs only 165 grams. You can definitely feel the difference with the weight and the shape of the phones. To be fair, both of them feel very comfortable on hand. First impressions, really positive actually. But yeah, let's take this screen protector off. Wow. Dude, this thing is absolutely huge. I wish my girlfriend would say that, but I don't have one. Anyways, on the right we got the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and on the left is the 17 Pro Max. And yeah, there's a clear difference in size. The 17 Pro Max is a beefy boy. In the Pro Max box you also get the charging cable as well as the SIM card pin, because like I said, I live in Europe, so I still have the SIM card slot. For the folks in the US, you don't get the SIM card slot, but in turn you get a bigger battery. So in Europe we only have a 4800 milliampere battery, but in the US you actually get a 5088 milliampere battery, which is bigger than the S25 Ultra's battery. And a lot of Samsung fanboys got so mad at the battery because for the first time in a long time, maybe ever, the biggest iPhone has a bigger battery than the biggest Samsung phone. I think the weirdest thing to me is that both of these phones have the same A19 Pro chip, but the batteries are so different. Like I mentioned, my Pro Max has a 4800 milliampere battery, but the iPhone Air only has a 3100 milliampere battery. So having the same Pro chip in both of these models seems like an interesting choice to me. Like, that just makes me super curious about the battery life on the Air. My intuition is saying that there's no way that the iPhone Air is gonna get a full day's worth of battery like Apple claims, but that's what we YouTubers are here for. We're supposed to test all of this stuff and let y'all know. Even on the Air you get that sweet 120Hz ProMotion display, which is super wild. Alright, we're getting into the phones and he wants me to use my other iPhone to help me with the setup, but I'm not sure if I can do this for both of the phones actually. This is such first world problems, like I have too many iPhones to set up. Like, I'm not even gonna complain about this because that just sounds ridiculous. Let's see if I can set up the Air using this as well. I can! Wow! Okay, so to everybody who's buying two iPhones this year, you can set up both phones using your old one. I don't know how many people are doing that outside of tech YouTubers, but if you got extra cash, then I guess this is pretty fun. Okay, updating the phones might have been a mistake because this is taking a long time. As you can see, it's still going. But while they're updating, I was looking at the vapor chamber on the Pro Max model and I noticed something. Like, the sides here are completely smooth, but then when you come up to the phone near the camera, there's like a small bump. I don't know if you can see, but I can basically fit my nail, not under the vapor chamber, but it gets kind of stuck here at the top. But then on the sides, it's almost smooth. So yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on this year. We got misaligned USB-C ports and vapor chambers that aren't smooth. But yeah, also this year Apple changed away from titanium back to aluminum. It's way better for cooling the phone, and that's why they also got the vapor chamber here. You probably know when you go outside and it gets super bright, your phone goes to max brightness, right? But often what happens is that the phone starts overheating and then the display dims down significantly. So I'm really interested to see how this design and material affects that, because with my previous iPhone it gets super hot in daylight and then the display just completely dims out. So yeah, that's something I also need to test. Overall, the back design still feels very weird and new, and I'm not gonna act like I'm the biggest fan of the vapor chamber and the camera change. I don't mind the camera that much, but if you're rocking the phone without a case, the contrast between the vapor chamber and the phone itself is a little bit too much. I guess that was one good thing about the orange colorway, because the color of the vapor chamber was much closer to the actual phone. Okay, so we're almost finished up setting up the phone. It's asking me about the camera control. At first I was kind of a hater of the camera control button, but the more I've been using the iPhone, the more I started to like it. Because if you don't know, without the camera control button, when you're taking a picture on your phone and you kind of tap on the screen and then pull down the exposure, it locks the focus to whatever you just tap. But with the camera control button, you can adjust the exposure without locking the focus, which has been super clutch for me and something that I've been using a lot. So yeah, the camera control button kind of grew on me. Okay, we have made it into the iPhone Air. The Pro is still kind of struggling. It's telling me about the iOS 26. Obviously I've been using the Pixel, so I haven't had that much time to play around with the iOS 26, but from the little that I've seen, I feel like everything just moves a little bit too much. Like, the animations take quite a lot to unpack. Also, something I mentioned in the Pixel review was that the sides collect fingerprints like crazy, and I can see the same happening with the iPhone Air as well. But yeah, like I said in the Pixel video, you're not really gonna pay attention to it unless you're specifically looking for it. Finally, both of the phones are set up. I'm not sure why, but Apple is showcasing a different temperature based on the phone you're looking at. So on the Air, it has 14 degrees Celsius, and on the Pro Max, it says 15 degrees Celsius in Helsinki right now. Are they using different APIs to pull the weather data if you're using the Air or the Pro Max? Or are the Air users just cooler than the Pro users? I'm not really sure what's going on. Might also be a rounding error or something. I don't know, but that's pretty funny. Anyways, the first thing we need to do is change the wallpapers. So this is from my wallpaper pack called Braces. First link in the description, by the way. But I kind of wanted to create something that combines the Apple aesthetic with programming. And if you know anything about programming, you're familiar with the curly braces. So yeah, this is how it came out. I think it looks sick. No pressure to purchase it, but if you want to support me and get some of my money back from spending crazy amounts of money on these phones, and in return make your phone look sexy, then check the first link in the description. My favorites are the pink and the light blue wallpapers. But yeah, now that we're on the phones, let's talk about the displays a little bit, because I'm so used to the brightness of the Pixel 10 Pro XL right now. And this year the iPhone lineup goes up to 3300 nits peak brightness, while the Pixel 10 Pro XL goes up to 3300 nits of peak brightness. And as you can see, just sitting in my apartment, the Pixel 10 still completely mugs the iPhones when it comes to screen brightness. Me personally, I absolutely love the display on the Pixel lineup because the colors are so vibrant and it's so bright. But yeah, here you can see the exposure is completely off on the Pixel because it's just so bright. And also this year we got the always on display, which is super dope. Yeah, I know, it's been on the Android since 1995. You don't need to comment it. And it's super nice that the Air has the same ProMotion display as the Pro. On hand, the Air feels like a Pro device. I'm just worried about the battery life a little bit. And then lastly, let's talk about the cameras a little bit. So obviously on the Air, you just got a singular 48 megapixel camera, whereas on the Pro, you get a 48 megapixel ultra-wide lens, a 48 megapixel telephoto lens, and a 48 megapixel wide lens. On the Pro you also have the 8 times optical zoom, which is nice. And something that I'm super excited about this year is that on the Pro devices you can shoot ProRes RAW, which means you can shoot 16-bit video with an iPhone now. That's insane. If you don't know, the log mode shoots 10-bit video, which just basically means that you get a ton of control over the image in post-production when you're editing. So right now, for example, the exposure on my window might be peaking a little bit because the sun is out and everything, but because I'm shooting this video in log mode, I can actually adjust the highlights and bring them down a little bit so that the window doesn't look super crazy. And keep in mind, that's 10-bit video, but with the Pros, you're gonna get 16-bit video. Now you're gonna need an external SSD plugged into the Pro device in order to shoot ProRes RAW. Not that I would really need it, but I'm such a nerd when it comes to cameras and stuff that things like these just excite me a lot. And yeah, now you also get the center stage selfie camera on the phones. If you don't know, on the MacBooks, the center stage camera is a bit different. Basically on the MacBooks, if you hop into a meeting and you turn on the center stage camera and you kind of move around in the background and stuff, the camera keeps following you. But with the iPhones, you can shoot vertical or horizontal selfies without actually turning the phone. So previously, if you wanted to take a group selfie or something, you would kind of need to turn your phone this way, which is just super awkward because usually people don't know where to look at when the phone is this way. Most people are just used to looking at the top of the phone, so it kind of looks funny when you're taking a selfie this way. Most of the time, all the people aren't looking directly into the sensor, but with the new square sensor on the selfie cameras, you can just switch between the vertical and horizontal modes without turning your phone. So again, I think that's a great upgrade, which I'm super happy about. And yeah, while talking about the selfie camera, on the Pro, you get an 18 megapixel selfie camera, and on the Air, you get a 12 megapixel selfie camera. I think they're doing some kind of cropping a little bit when you go from vertical to horizontal mode, but especially with the Pro models this year, it should be a significant bump in the selfie camera as well. One more thing I wanted to showcase were the speakers on the Pro Max versus on the Air. So I've got the same exact song here on both phones. Let's try the Pro Max first. Woo! Alright, the Pro is good. The Pro Max speakers, good as always. Then for the Air. It's not terrible, but it almost sounds like there's sand inside of the speaker. I don't know, it's weird. It's hard to explain if you're not hearing it live. Definitely the Pro Max has better speakers though. But yeah, that's been my first impressions comparison of the iPhone Air and the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I'm gonna start rocking the iPhone Air right now and make the day in the life review in about a week or so. I wanna see how the battery really evolves before pulling the trigger on the video. Even if it gets me less views, it's fine. Like, I just want to bring you out the best content possible. And after that, we're switching to the 17 Pro Max and making a video of it later down the line as well. So if you liked the video, then like the video. If you dislike, then dislike. And I'll see you in the next one.